and not only successful, but super successful. And because he's able to find uh, billions and billions and billions of dollars of fraud and waste and all of the things. I mean, our country is going to be very strong very soon because of a lot of the things that he's done and a lot of the things that I'm doing. And there's no better team, but there's no better for what we're doing. There's nobody like this, and he shouldn't be penalized. And when I watched the other day.
Well, welcome on into another episode of the Healthy Discussion Show. And today we will be discussing what they're doing to Elon. They're vandalizing all of his brand, all of his cars, from the Tesla Cybertruck to the Model Y, the Model X, anything that has Tesla to do with it. Now, I will assume because if he would just have kept their business and didn't invoke himself into politics, then it would have been a different thing. But the fact that he's affecting politicians, and we all know that they play a dirty game, I think this is where the attack is stemming from. But it's not about what I think. I want to know what you guys think. Ethically, is this even is this correct, right? Do you view this as a form of terrorism? Because how can you target a man, a successful man, just because he's pulling the data, right, and let you guys know where the money is going, what's coming in and what's going out as far as the United States budget, right? I don't think that this is actually right, but I want to know what you guys think. Let's continue the show. Before I get started again, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. That's all I ask. Also, hit the AirTag EMF protector to protect you against the electromagnetic frequencies, the harmful ones that surround you. All right, let's get started.
Day, I said, I can't believe it. It should be the opposite. People should be going wild, and they love the product, but because he's finding all sorts of terrible things that have taken place against our country, they want to penalize him in a economic sense. And I just think that's very unfair. So I just wanted to make a statement. I'm going to buy one. Now, here's the bad news. I'm not allowed to drive because if I haven't driven a car in a long time, and I love to drive cars, but I'm going to have it at the White House, and I'm going to let my staff use it. I'm going to let people at the place use it. And they all are all excited about that. I'm not allowed to use it. Can you believe it? One of my great things in life is that I can, I like to drive cars, but I'm not allowed to. And I will say this one, the Cybertruck, I bought for a very special young woman. Do you know? I'm sure you've never heard of her, Kai. And she's a great golfer, and she puts the clubs in the back, and I guess it's a very safe deal. She loves it. And I actually bought one about a year ago, and she loves it. And it's very safe. It's very strong, heavy. It's all steel, stainless steel. But the cars themselves. So what is this one, Mila?
That's the Model Y.
That's a Model Y. So I have a lot of information to put into price. Yeah. I want to make a good deal here. I do notice this. They have one, which is $35,000, which is pretty low. What is that all about?
Yeah, I guess we want to make the point that Teslas aren't all expensive. You can get a Tesla for as little as $35,000. Yeah. And I just want to thank the president for his support. This means a lot. And also thank everyone out there who is supporting Tesla. It's really terrible that there's so much violence being perpetrated against people at Tesla supporters, Tesla owners.
Why do you guys think they're targeting Tesla? That's what I want to know. Leave your thoughts down below. Why would they target something that's making the world, to me, a better place? Now, some people believe in hybrid cars, gas cars. I believe you should have both if that's the case, right? I think that Teslas are dope. I also think what Elon is doing is actually something that hasn't been done before. Like, he don't have to do Doge, right? He's the richest man in the world, at least one of them. He don't have to do Doge, which is the Department of Government Efficiency. He's doing that as a side job, but the fact that he tapped into politics, I think this is where this backlash is coming from. And this only make a man want to go 10 times harder. That's the way I see it. Because if you guys are willing to attack him, slander his name, also slander Trump's name for even trying to attempt to help, to want to fix what's going on in America, it means that you guys are part of the problem. You like the way it is, right? You want to be frauded out of your money, which means that it's affecting the future, which is it's affecting the kids. You want LBGTQ LMNOP to be at the top hierarchy of what's going on, which eventually stops reproduction around the world. That's the end and cause of it. Now, as an adult, if you choose to do that, you choose to do that, no problemo. But if you're an adult influencing kids to make that decision, that's where the problem lies to me. So these are just my thoughts on it. Let's continue. And then we're going to go to some actual videos of some vandalization of the car. And then we're going to scroll through TikTok to see what's going on the ground. Let's continue.
Tesla stores. These are innocent people who've done nothing wrong.
And put a 1 in the chat if you own a Tesla. Put a 2 in the chat if you plan on owning a Tesla. Put a 3 in the chat if you don't like Teslas at all.
You know,
but nobody's been. I mean, it hasn't been. There's been some physical damage, a little damage, and we want to keep it that way because I don't want to say this. It's just not the appropriate. But law enforcement's out there watching everybody. We don't want this to happen. And not to somebody that's been so good to our country. He didn't have to do this. He didn't have to go through this. And we can't let it happen. And aside from that, I happen to love the product. It's a lot nicer if you also happen to love the product. And he's done a really good job. Go ahead, Peter.
Is there, I guess this is for Elon Musk, is there a discount? President Trump wrote the art of the deal. Is there any kind of room for negotiating here?
Let me answer this. I know he'd give me a discount, but honestly, I don't want to ask for one. You know, I'm president, so I want to pay full price.
And what is your message, President Trump? Buying a new car while there are some folks who will see this clip at home and they are...
Okay, I'm going to leave that clip down below. You guys can go check it out in the description. Now, let's go on to the next segment of the show. And we're going to go to the actual vandalization of Tesla.
Tesla is under attack. A wave of vandalism, arson, and gunfire incidents is hitting Tesla showrooms, charging stations, and electric vehicles across the US and beyond. The violence comes at a time when Elon Musk faces mounting criticism over his role as head of the US Department of Government Efficiency and as Tesla's stock takes a nosedive.
Do you see how they try to paint this man as if he's Hitler? This is how I know that the media is trying to control the narrative, right? You're trying to paint this man as he's doing the Hitler movement. Like, come on, man. Come on. You know, people used to, that's how they used to salute the flag before Hitler and everyone else, right? But people want to associate and tie him to something that's damn near demonic or underrepresentation of what he actually is. See, the media is a vicious game. Whatever they want you to believe, they will simply paint the picture. What did they say? A picture can paint 1,000 words, right? Well, if that's the case, then a film and or a movie and or a documentary can paint millions and billions of words. That's just how I see it. To me, this is a soft programming method. But let's continue. You got to see beyond the program. Let's continue.
Some over his role as head of the US Department of Government Efficiency and as Tesla's stock takes a nosedive. The latest attack, a fire in Seattle where 4 Tesla Cybertrucks were torched late Sunday. Seattle fire officials confirmed they are investigating the incident as arson. Journalist Jonathan Coe captured the blaze on video, with the bystander heard saying, "With everything that's happening in America right now, the anti-Musk protests, the vandalism, this appears to be arson." Tesla CEO Elon Musk has now broken his silence, reacting to the news with a short but telling response on X, saying, and I quote, "This is crazy," end quote. The Seattle attack is just one in a string of violent incidents targeting Tesla. In Oregon, the FBI is assisting local police after gunshots were fired at a Tesla dealership last week. And in Colorado, a woman is facing federal charges for allegedly throwing Molotov cocktails at Teslas and spray painting Nazi cars on a showroom wall. In France, a suspected arson attack destroyed 12 Tesla vehicles.
To me, That seems like it's coming from a certain party to me. Maybe a party that's to the left, right? Extremely to the left, because if they can't win on the polls and if they can't win in life, they begin to cheat, and the only thing they begin to do is then wish and want death upon someone that's successful. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. And to me, who killed JFK? Who killed Martin Luther King? Who killed Malcolm X? Who killed Marcus Garvey? Who killed whoever that's a revolutionary or revolutionist, right? That a certain party don't like. These are the things that they begin to do. To me, so history is kind of repeating itself. It rhymes, but it won't happen this time. People are too aware of these things now. You can't keep running the same play and expect somebody not to pay attention to what's going on. They're doing the same thing. They attack Elon, they attack Trump all the time. For what? It has to be something personal, or the fact that they're trying to revolutionize the world as we see it.
And in a separate video circulating online, individuals were seen using a sledgehammer to smash a Tesla in broad daylight. So, why is Tesla suddenly a target? At the center of this backlash is Elon Musk himself. The billionaire's appointment by Donald Trump to lead Doge has made him a controversial figure. His aggressive cuts to
That's what it is. It's the fact. And you could say maybe it's the Democratic Party, right? You can play the political game, right? Because you notice most of the money that he didn't even cut, most of the money that he told on the d.o.g.e.com, or well, it's on X as well. He told you guys where the money was going. The money was going inside of a certain political party pocket. So if you stop their way of living, and most of their way of living is through fraudulent activities, then this will only render whoever that he's affecting the most is probably that those are the group of people that want to pull the strings to get him out of here. That's what I think. Now, it's just an assumption. I don't know directly. I can only assume and speculate. Because I look at it like this: if everything was peaches and cream, everything was gravy, everything was just smooth off, right? He wouldn't be under attack. So he's obviously ruffling up the feathers of some people with a lot of money that's able to pour into these things. You don't know if these people that's vandalizing the cars and stuff getting paid. They didn't just wake up one day and said, I'm going to attack Elon Musk. I believe that they was told to attack Elon Musk and all of his derivatives. So that begins to say, is his kid safe? How about his baby moms? Are they safe? Is he even safe? Is Trump safe? We all know Trump isn't safe. They didn't try to. So the same group to me that tried to attack Trump is the same group to me that's trying to attack Elon. That's just my opinion. But it's not about what I think. I want to know what you guys think.
federal jobs and government programs have sparked outrage and mass protests. Many now see Tesla as a symbol of its influence and a target for their frustration. Dozens of protesters gathered outside a Tesla showroom in Palo Alto, California on Wednesday to condemn the electric car company's owner, Elon Musk, for his role in spending cuts under the new Donald Trump administration. Video shared on Facebook on Saturday showed long lines of people protesting SpaceX owner Elon Musk's involvement in the US government outside the company's LA factory. With law enforcement stepping in, Tesla remains in crisis mode. And for now, the question remains, will these attacks continue?
Do y'all know that every Tesla car, right, has cameras on it? At least 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 cameras. Do you know that those cameras can connect to the federal bureau or the police department? Do you know that he also owns Starlink? Do you know that he owns satellites that can probably watch you if they need to and replay what you did for the whole day? I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying. So if he connect all of those things, case solved. All he got to do is push probably one button to connect all of those things. Those are separate entities, but I'm sure he can make it into one. He is a computer scientist. So saying it all to say, I don't really support this message, right? I don't support you attacking someone because they chose a position or they chose to expose this. And if it's not the truth, then you wouldn't attack. But if it is the truth, then you will find a reason to attack or get them out of here. So something is truthful about the government spending. Something is truthful about money of these politicians' pockets being greased by the taxpayer dollar. Something is true about it. It has to be, because if it wasn't, you wouldn't go so far as to attack the man, his prodigies, his products, his way to add value to the world. You wouldn't attack the man for it. But when it comes time for crisis, you still need a man to go out and get the people that was on the NASA or the Boeing spaceship. You still need him to do that. When they had the North Carolina, the hurricanes and all of that, y'all still needed to use Starlink so you guys can communicate, because communication was locked off. So it's like you need him, but you're mad at the fact that you need him. Make your mind up. Make your mind up. That's what I have to say. I don't really support this message. I don't really support the fact that this is a negative thing. It's a negative outlook. But I understand the way of the world is wicked, right? That's why I always say positivity over negativity. Always. So on that note, let me know what you guys think about Tesla. Is it even safe to drive Tesla? Are they trying to shake people out of Tesla? To me, I think Tesla is a great car, right? It's a great car. It's great technology. It's slick. It's smooth. It's clean, right? It's affordable. And most importantly, it's US made. It's made in the USA. Most importantly. So it's actually giving the USA, if you're living in the USA, an economical boost. Just saying. All right, so now let's go on to the ground feed and let's see what TikTok has to say about these things. Because I like to do different, assemble different viewpoints, and then ultimately I want you guys to make your own educated decision. Make your own educated decision. Don't listen to me. I want you guys to make your own decision. What do you guys think?
Some new details on a string of ongoing attacks on Tesla amid Elon Musk and his effort to overhaul our federal government. From Oregon to Massachusetts, Tesla showrooms, dealerships, even charging stations are being set on fire or vandalized in other ways as anger spills out, stemming from mass layoffs and firings across several government agencies. The rage directed at Musk. Some new details on a string of ongoing attacks on Tesla amid Elon Musk.
Elon Musk has just had the worst weekend ever.
What the hell is that?
Donald Trump announced today that if you, for example,
for some reason, when I play the Tesla videos, see, I don't get that as well. But that's a whole nother thing.
Tesla vehicle, you could be a terrorist, according to the United States. I wish I were making that up. Trump today said at his event with Elon at the White House that he will label quote-unquote violence against Tesla dealers domestic terrorism. Now, he didn't exactly explain what violence meant. Violence could be considered throwing paint on a car. But even if you injure someone at a Tesla dealership, should you be a domestic terrorist? No. Label people as domestic terrorists, which is a pretty heavy label to give someone, give an American citizen, for example, that's really bad because it leaves open the possibility of any number of people being charged with domestic terrorism. And look, I don't want violence against.
I mean, but think about it. What else are they going to charge that with? Do you know what terrorism is? The definition of it? That's literally what they're doing. They're terrorizing Elon Musk by any shape, way, form necessary. That's a terrorist act. So I don't agree with what this man is saying. At the end of the day, if you get caught and you're vandalizing something, they're going to take you to, especially if they want this. So you got to make an example out of things, especially if they want these things to stop. You have to go dramatic. Domestic terrorism. It is. It's home. It's a homestead. It's in-house terrorism. I agree with that.
We have some big news right now. Donald Trump has now confirmed that he will be labeling any attacks against Tesla dealerships as domestic terrorism. He made these remarks while touring a number of Teslas in front of the White House. He will purchase one of these Teslas. He's purchasing one of these Teslas because after a day where Elon Musk lost $16 billion because Tesla's stock share value dropped 15%, Trump now wants to support Musk and will be purchasing a Tesla vehicle at the White House. And when making remarks at this purchasing ceremony or whatnot, he said that he will be labeling any violence against Tesla dealerships specifically as domestic terrorism. Now, it's unclear exactly what he means by that.
My thing is this.
We have some big news right now.
My thing is this. What happens when Tesla goes totally autonomous? When they no longer need the car, the people in the car in order to do deliveries or to be a taxi or anything along that nature, right? What happens if Tesla said, you know what? Let's deploy these robots. And we're going to put them on every block, on every corner. We're going to also connect Starlink to all the satellites. He launched a satellite every day to all the satellites, which means that the whole entire world will be surveillance, right? Then what? See, what you guys doing is pushing this man to the extreme because he's like, hey, I want to be a good guy and I want to make sure that we're actually solving the U.S. problems. But the problem may be the United States. See, the same thing that he's advocating for is the same thing that's stabbing him in the back. Imagine. How can you really imagine that? The thing that you're trying to fix is the thing that's actually hurting you. Let me repeat that. It's like being in a relationship. The thing that you're trying to fix is literally the things that's hurting you, that's harming you. It's a double-edged sword in my book. And to me, as a United States citizens and to all the citizens of the United States, I got to do better. You have to. Because this is to me, it's going to show, hey, when you're trying to be on the right side of history, or when you're trying to fix something, you always have an equal or opposite force that don't want you to fix it because they benefit off of it being the way it is. Can I get a witness? Now let's continue. Now that's crazy. They're going around stealing Tesla wheels. That's pitiful, man. That's sad. That's sad. I'm sure they have insurance, but the fact that you got to go through the process, that's sad. What about the people that wrap their cars, right? In expensive wraps and it's detailed to their liking because you get the ability to customize, right? What do their insurance cover that? They done spent $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $10,000 on a nice wrap that best identifies them, and then insurance don't even cover that. So to me, what they're trying to do is scare people out of Teslas. My thing is, do you guys believe that this will work? Or it won't? Which one you guys think? That's correct.
Hey, if you hate Elon, you're going to want to hear this because it's not getting talked about a lot on TikTok right now. This past Monday in France, one of the largest Tesla dealerships in the country was burned to the ground in what is a suspected attack of arson, destroying over 550,000 euros worth of vehicles overnight. This is also not accounting for the property and infrastructure damage that was caused by this fire. But when I say burned to the ground, I mean there's nothing left. It is ash. This also comes on the heels of a rash of arson and arson attempts against Tesla chargers in France, which are being seen as a political reaction to Elon's backing of fascists worldwide. And between this and the German election results that show that the party that got Elon's support actually took a hit in popularity as a result of it, shows that Europe is fed up with Elon and probably going to move against him very soon. In fact, the German government, which is making very clear signs that they are going to cut the far-right AfD out of any future coalition, is signaling that they are preparing to investigate Elon Musk for election interference.
Which means they're part of the problem. But it wasn't election interference when you had the Democratic Party making sure that illegal aliens was coming into the United States of America and they don't need an ID to vote. That was their okie doke. You don't need an ID to vote. We're going to make sure that you get here. And when you get here, only thing we need for you guys to do, we will give you all the money in the world, all the government assistance in the world. We're going to forget about all the veterans and everything else. We're going to send all the money to Ukraine and everything else and forget about the United States. But the only thing we want you guys to do is make sure that you have the ability to vote. And that did not happen. Just imagine, you've been living in the United States, you have to pay taxes and everything else, and they're using your tax dollars in order to fund their coalition, not yours, in order to fund what's best for them, not yours. But then when these two guys get together, Elon and Trump, and said, you know what, we had enough, it's a problem, then you try to assassinate Trump plenty of times. Elon Musk, you try to send hitmen to Elon Musk, he have over 100 security guards. So that makes... Don't you guys see that something is wrong with the United States of America? Are we even united? You should drop the United and just add States of America. The States of America. Forget the united part, because I don't think we're united at all. But yet you want to attack the person that may have our best interests. I'm not saying that he does, but based on his actions, what he's providing and what he's being transparent on, and let you know that, look, if we spend more money than we receive, then we're the problem. Yes, we print the money, but we can't print the money and spend more money than we printing. That's the problem. But people benefit off of this being the problem. And those, to me, are the same people that's attacking Elon and Trump and everyone that stands for this. Those are the exact same people. And to me, that's sickening. That's a disease. That's cancerous. Nonetheless.
Important thing to remember about that is that most, if not all, of Elon's Tesla factories in Europe are located inside of Germany. If they find him guilty, they're likely going to seize all of those Tesla factories from him, bringing Tesla's stock crashing down and bringing his net worth crashing down. Because these would be seized as part of a criminal investigation, it's very unlikely he'd be able to get those back, especially because Germany takes its elections very seriously since the 40s. That's all for now. I'll try to keep you updated on this situation.
Sad.
Crazy news right now. Tesla is under attack in many cities by radical groups who disagree with Elon Musk. It's getting worse by the day in many cities.
My thing is, who's funding these radical groups? Who do you guys believe that's funding these radical groups? Because they're getting paid to do these things. They're getting a slap on their wrist if they get arrested to do these things. They're literally getting paid. Let's continue.
FBI is having to get involved. Tesla store in Salem, Oregon was attacked twice in 1 month. First with arson and then a second time with gunshots. This is more than just vandalism. This is a storm of chaos. This is following a troubling pattern of vandalism against Tesla.
So you have plenty of time and you claim you have plenty of time.
Oh my gosh, a Tesla Cybertruck is on fire. All right. There's a fleet of Cybertrucks right now. Unbelievable. Seattle fire on the scene.
So you gotta get off the spot.
Breaking news. I'm sorry?
Get off the spot.
All right, you've got dozens of firefighters now putting out flames on the Cybertruck. Absolutely insane. Look, you still see flames right underneath the Cybertruck.
wanted to see the video before that.
So you have plenty of time and you claim you have plenty of time. The problem is that the Republican messaging right now continues to be workers, Americans, you're going to feel a little bit of pain. And Americans have been feeling pain. That's why Democrats lost the election. That's why Democrats lost everything. Trump promised that he would end up lowering costs, that he would have a better economy.
And this is what the people don't understand. This is what trips me out about these people, man. They don't get how things work. If he promised that we're going to have a better economy, we're going to have lower costs, right? Do you think that these things can happen overnight? He was handed, we was already going to go down to me regardless. He was handed America that was unstable, literally, right? So this goes to show, hey, in order to change something, do you know that when you're changing something, it's going to be a bit of resistance. It's going to be a bit of turmoil once you change things. But if you go a year and 2 and 3 and look at that outlook, it's probably going to be more beneficial for the things that he's doing. Oh, tariffs are bad. How is tariffs bad, right? Tariffs are so bad. Yes, we might see a price increase in the short term, but for the long term, it actually works. Think about it like this, right? Everywhere in the world, they get to send their stuff to the United States of America because we're considered the consumer capital of the world. Correct? Our power is actually buying things and consuming things, right? But we also need to be making things as well and manufacturing things, right? I gave you guys a history lesson in my prior videos to let you guys know. From 1991, we have sold all of our manufacturing rights, right? And our factories over to China. China was making everything, right? And then sending it back to us. We also accept things from Canada, Mexico, all over the world. They send us their products. If we make the same products that they make and send it to their nation, they charge us hundreds of percentages in tariffs. This little 25% tariff that Trump is doing is nothing compared to what they charge us. Think about it. Compared to what they charge us for selling our own products in their nation. So that's basically saying, hey, we want to get rich off of you guys and your consumerism, right? But you can't be manufacturers and producers and send us products and services because we're going to charge you an egregious amount. Do you guys consider that to be even fair? Is that a one-way street or a two-way street? To me, that's a one-way street. Trump is like, no, let's make this a two-way avenue. Trump said, let's make this a two-way street. We want to manufacture things now. We want to have factories. We want things to be made in the USA and have those tags and those labels. In order to do that, we must change these tariffs. I look at it like this. They need us more than we need them. If we don't spend, right, they don't make. You get it? If we don't spend, they don't make. If they don't make, we don't spend. Who's on the winning side of that? Now, we may have to adjust what we buy for a short period of time. Okay. Why do you think that everything the United States make, China make? Even if it's a knockoff, you might have a handbag. You go to China, you see a knockoff same handbag. Why do you think that is? So imagine if we start doing the same thing. Do you know how much money that will bring to the United States economy? And to me, in 10 to 15 years, this is going to be a bipartisan, which means the red and the blue. It's going to be a bipartisan thing because they want to make things made in the USA again. History repeats itself. In fact, it rhymes. So you can't just blame. I look at it like this. A lot of people, when things go wrong, blame Trump. He's been in office for under 2 months. For 2 months. How much do you think a man can do in 2 months? Imagine if you've been doing something for 10, 15, 100 years, and you're trying to correct the wrongs. How long do you think that's really going to take? I'm just proud of the man for literally starting, because you have to start somewhere. Yes, the person who starts going to get the most ridicule and the most hate and all these other little things, but that he was built for that. Because he don't need the United States government. The man is already rich. So they doing these things out of what they think or they presume to be ethically or morally correct. Would programs get defunded and stuff like that? Of course, that's part of the effect. Because one thing I know about these programs is, for instance, these educational programs, these after-school programs, these a certain different types of veteran programs and stuff like that. They may say that it's for this, right? Someone may create a program for a specific cost, right? When you find out and you do the details and you dive deep in it, they're getting the money and they're not spending it on the thing that they advocated for. So you said, what? So you're asking for millions of dollars, billions of dollars, and the things that you're supposed to be fixing isn't fixed. So you're just getting the money and greasing a certain people's pocket? No, that must stop. And I think that's where the hatred is coming from. But there's no way as an American citizen you can blame a man that only been in office for 2 months for everything that's going on when he's trying to change these things. If we would have kept down the same road and have a Democratic Party and all of that, the only thing we would have been doing? Printing more money, spending. Is that a solution? No, it's not. That's not even a solution. So the fact that they're coming up with these solutions is a problem. As if most people, 90% of people, it all depends. Most people, if you let the news channels tell it, right, which I don't believe in them anymore, how could you believe in people that told you to do something that wasn't in your best interest? For example, the COVID situation. How could you listen to people that gave you misinformation? And these are the same channels that's giving you the same misinformation as well. That's why I tell people, please do your own research. Don't believe nothing I say, right? Just do your own research. Don't believe nothing they say. Do your own research and make your own educated decision. Don't let the program you how to think. You got to learn how to think on your own. That's why you have a brain. You have a computer, a quantum computer right here in between your ears. It's one of the most vicious cloud storage computer mechanism, whatever you want to think of it, quantum resistance. This is the new Apple, the Dell, the hybrid, the Macintosh, whatever you want to think of it. You have something that's in here, right here, that allows you to think. And what you think is what you see. And what you see is what you do. And what you do is what you get. So be careful of what you're thinking about. So I'm saying it all to say, you can't just blame a person, right? And it seems like the person that they blame is the person they want to attack because they want the world to be what they want the world to be. And I don't think the world is having it. You got the news reporting one thing, and you got the people saying another thing. A lot of people saying, you know what, I may not like Trump, but I kind of agree with what he's doing. I may not like him. And I don't know the reason why they say he's racist and he's that, right? Okay, cool. I'm not gonna say he's perfect. We all have flaws, right? But as far as if you put that flaw aside and you say, well, what is he trying to do? Does it benefit me? Does it benefit the United States as a whole, as one? To me, it does. So the tariff games that they playing, y'all got to understand. That's a move so that the Fed can go in and say, you know what? We need to lower down interest rates. We lower down interest rates, all asset class, boom. But before the boom, we have to do these things in order to let people know, hey, we're not playing. You want to send your products over here? We're going to charge you. It's no longer under another administration. Oh, no, they can send their products and we're not going to charge them anything. But we got to make sure that we can't make anything and send it to their economy, because that's going to be illegal, or they're going to charge us too much. Come on, people. Think about it. Think about it.
That he would get us out of the war in Ukraine. He promised all of these things and he hasn't done it. And instead, which I think was a terrible PR move, and Scott, I'm assuming you agree, because as a Republican strategist, you wouldn't have advised him to go in front of the White House and drive a Tesla.
Wait, why? Because of course I would have. You know why? Because if I were advising a Republican president, I would say, let's support American companies that have thousands of American workers and thousands more workers who make indirect products for it. Yeah, I think it would be a good idea if American companies did well under my.
And okay, so you're going to go ahead and support a billionaire, but not support the American worker, and not necessarily.
Who do you think makes Teslas, Sochi? America.
You see how they switch it up? My God. It's like they find something.
American workers. It's good. If
but it's
Tesla
very
does
much
well,
as
American
Jana mentioned.
You think
It's a
Elon
quid
builds
pro
them all
quo.
in his basement? They got factories all over the place,
including China. But
do we not? Do they not have thousands of Americans?
It's just the visual of him driving a
Did Joe Biden drive a Jeep Rubicon around the South?
Okay, a six-figure car.
Where do they make those?
Is owned by a billionaire in the White House.
Stellantis is giving
The
billions of
UAW
dollars
had a stake in it, and the UAW gave money to Joe Biden, and they supported Joe Biden. You're saying one hand.
Well, you're talking about the UAW. You're kind of making
We're talking
point
about
the workers.
a billionaire who is in the federal government making cuts and making business deals that end up.
He doesn't make cuts and he doesn't make business deals, people. He just present the data to the people that does the cutting. Y'all don't get it. Only thing he does is literally say, hey, you have money going here to here. Elon cannot make one decision. He can influence a decision. He can't make one decision at all. The only thing he do is say, hey, you have a lot of money going to this program, but this program isn't doing this, isn't doing that. The money is sent offshore. The money is sent to Ukraine. The money is sent to grease a certain political party agenda. Okay, I'm presenting you the data, right? As the president of the United States, right? Elon is working for the president of the United States. He's tech support. He's presenting the data. Once the data is being presented, they do the cuts. He don't even have jurisdiction to cut anything, but he do have jurisdiction to bring the data. So you guys are giving him more power than before because he don't have those types of power. That's why I say people are simply just attacking the man. They don't even know the three branches of government, how the actual government work. He's just presenting the data to the government. The government take it from there. And let's look at a video of CNN Scott Jennings. Let's look at a video of that.
I don't think hate speech is actually the issue. He's a resident alien. He can be deported under U.S. law for if the Secretary of State has any reasonable ground to believe he would have a potentially serious adverse foreign policy consequence. And you mentioned the student organization. The student organization put out. Let me finish.
But before you move on, because I think that's a really important point, right? That's the statute that
they always interrupt. I hate when people talk and they interrupt you.
They're using. Have you seen any evidence to suggest that there is actually a serious reason to believe that this student is going to be a threat to national security?
I've certainly watched the abomination that's going on at Columbia and Barnard and other places. And I will just tell you,
threat to national security.
And I'll just tell you that
I'm not going to let you move on because this is.
I'll tell you why it's a threat to national security if you let me answer you.
Well, Scott.
Do you want me to answer you or not?
Okay.
His organization says we are dedicated fighting for the total.
I'm not going to let you move on. Ma'am, get your aggressive A off the screen, please. We don't need another man interviewing. And you ask a question, the man trying to answer the question, and you want to kick the ball down the road. These games that they play,
You're going to go ahead and support a billionaire, but not support the American worker, and not necessarily.
Who do you think makes Teslas?
She's another one. Next.
Right.
To have the president hawking cars for the richest guy in the world because his political
does it look bad for the president to support an American company that employs thousands of American workers?
No,
I don't think it looks bad.
No, he's supporting Elon Musk.
Who do you think builds the cars, brother?
Elon Musk builds the cars?
No, the workers of the United States of America, where they build the. I mean, they're
what I'm
building
telling you
cars.
right now is the way I look.
He's not
at
the
that
only person that
is
works there.
I look at the president doing a favor for another one of his rich.
It's because they're just trying to target and say it's just the rich people messing with the rich people. That's the narrative, and they don't care about the poor people. When the people, it's more than one person working for Tesla. That's why I don't watch CNN. I don't watch MSNBC. I don't watch any of these things, because if you let them just think for you for one moment, they got you. If you allow them to think for you for just one fraction of a second, they have you. And they normally target people that can't think on their own. They definitely can target me because I'm an independent thinker. I don't need you to tell me what to think. I need me to tell me what to think. That's it. That's it.
Homeboy.
So you don't like this company because you don't like Elon Musk that he supported Trump. I know, but you're mad.
No, why don't let's
because you don't like
perhaps
the
the White House can bring Ford next week.
Fine.
And then Chevy, because when
they're routinely at the White House, and in fact, during the Biden administration, they were at the White House, and he excluded Elon Musk.
Yeah, and that's why. That's
How
why.
about some small business?
Right.
To have the president
cook them. He cooked y'all.
Teslas, they're cool cars, but the president is clearly trying to do his friend, political donor, actually government employee, a pretty big favor here for his private business.
It's hardly the first time we've had cars on the South Lawn. Man, here's a video of Joe Biden driving a Jeep Rubicon around the South Lawn. I mean, it's pretty common.
And President Trump did it before in his first term as well.
It's pretty common for the president of the United States to boost American industries, American-made products, and companies.
It's because it's Tesla. It's because it's Elon. That's what I'm saying. They pick and choose what argument they want. It's okay when Biden did it. It's okay when the presidents and the president of this before. Why wouldn't the president of the United States support an American-made business? People tell me. And the agenda is to make things made in America again. Are you guys foolish? Because I think the mass media think that you guys are foolish. So they begin to run foolish schematics on the masses. They begin to run foolish schematics on the masses. They think y'all stupid. They've been doing it for hundreds of years. They don't understand times have changed. The game is over. It's rigged. It's over with. The game is over. It is rigged. It is over with. Scott Jennings, I applaud you. You're standing on business. I applaud that.
That are, employing Americans. It's extremely common. He obviously has a close relationship with Elon, who, by the way, is, I think, unfairly under attack. And this company is unfairly under attack. You have these insane people all over the country chasing people down in their Teslas in New York City. I had a friend who tried to trade his Tesla in New York.
Look at that man's eyes. You doing all of that. Did y'all see that? Y'all see this man? Come on, brother. I can't even call you a brother because I don't even know that if you're even a brother or identify as one. My God.
Chasing people down in their Teslas in New York City. I had a friend who tried to trade his Tesla in New York the other day, and there were protesters screaming at his children.
Look,
These people are unhinged, and they deserve support from the government.
But let's be clear. Let's not.
This guy just to thank Donald Trump and his orders. That's waste, fraud, and abuse. Not to mention the $400 million going to Elon Musk for his Cybertrucks. This is the waste, fraud, and abuse in America. It's not because of the federal workers doing their jobs. It's because Donald Trump is self-dealing.
Scott's rolling his eyes. Why?
Can I answer that? I just wanted to answer the criticisms. Number one, the Cybertruck deal you mentioned was made under Joe Biden and canceled by Donald Trump. Number two, if I may comment on the Los Angeles situation, because this hasn't been covered. I wrote about it for the Los Angeles Times this week. Actually, the Trump administration and the state of California are working incredibly closely together, and the EPA under Donald Trump has completed the phase 1 cleanup in the wildfire zone in Los Angeles in a record 29 days. The estimates were it was going to take 18 months, but this is the cleanup of the hazardous material that you have to do in order to start rebuilding. 29 days. So all this idea that there's photo ops and waste and fraud and whatever, and that Donald Trump was going to abandon California and LA?
We have created more jobs.
No, cost of living. You brought it up. You said Trump's not delivering. I just want to know why we should trust Democrats who skyrocketed inflation. Why?
This is another thing too. It's like inflation was already going to come regardless. That's why I say you can't blame somebody for 2 months to fix something that someone has done for 4 or 5 years. How could you? For hundreds of years, how could you? But you know what I think? He's the guy to blame. Oh, America isn't doing something right? Let's just blame Trump. Oh, America isn't doing something right? Let's blame anyone that supports Trump. Let's blame Elon. Oh, America isn't doing something right? Let's blame Scott. Oh, America isn't doing something right? Like, come on. The games are old.
Why would I trust you?
I don't think it's about. You all won.
Yeah.
So now fix it. You said you were going to fix it.
We're in it for 40 days.
Okay, right. And
how could you fix something in 2 months, ma'am? You guys are crazy. How could you fix something in 2 months? You expect this man? Okay, basically you're saying you didn't want him to be president. Now that he's president, you want him to be Superman. You want him to do things that your president have never done before. Give me a break. People. Wake up.
You're trying to take a victory lap for the CHIPS and Science Act, for all these investments coming into the United States. So you're going to take credit or not. Donald Trump is a president. He promised a lower cost of living. He is cutting jobs across the board from civil.
That's how you get lower cost of living, people. You have to cut things. Yes, things will go up for a fraction of a second, but it will also go down. And you probably be like, this is the best economy that I've ever witnessed. But in order to let the man do his job first, can we talk about all these things maybe in midterm? Give him 2 years. Because y'all expect him. Y'all have the microwave mentality. Y'all expect everything to be done and fixed in a matter of minutes. Grow up, people. The process even takes a long time. The process. The way our system is designed, the courting system takes a long time. The legislative system takes a long time. The judiciary system takes a long time. It takes time. I'm about sick of it.
Civil servants who have to support their families.
You believe in government jobs. You want more government jobs.
No, actually, I want jobs that actually help people.
Government jobs don't really help people. That's the problem. That's why they're cutting it. They don't really help people for the masses. They help the government. They don't help people. It's the big difference. Entrepreneurship, things that's made in America, goods and services help people. Government jobs don't really help people. They help the government. You get it?
A lot of jobs created in government during Biden.
America brought back a chips industry in 18 months.
And what was the announcement this week? That a chips maker from Taiwan is opening up a massive operation in Arizona. What was the auto industry?
They don't hear that part. The Taiwan semiconductor is moving to the United States of America. They didn't hear that part. They didn't hear the part that Honda is coming back to the United States of America. They didn't hear the part that Apple is beginning to manufacture and spending $500 million to make factories in America. They didn't hear that part. Along with a lot of other companies, you're being incentivized to actually start businesses in America. They did not hear that part. America is going to begin to start purchasing Bitcoin so America could be made somewhat great again. They didn't hear that part. To me, they hear what they want to hear. And they begin to attack. All they do is fight. Attack.
Announcement this week that Honda is putting a plant in Indiana. $1.7 trillion already in announcements from this administration on investing in the U.S. economy. I agree with you, what you said earlier, reindustrializing, juicing American manufacturing. It is a worthy goal, and that is the mission of the tariff plan. He strongly believes in tariffs, and if they're slapped on over a long period of time, we'll see if he's right. A lot of jobs created in government.
See, they don't want to hear that part, but if you look at their eyes at the end, they're like, well, damn, I didn't know.
Believes in tariffs, and if they're slapped on over a long period of time, we'll see if he's right. A lot of jobs created in government.
Have
you seen evidence to suggest that there is actually a serious reason to believe that this student, Teslas, they're cool cars, but the president is clearly.
I don't want to be bringing back waterboarding. I don't want to be a country that tortures people, especially if we're the kind of country that's going to be using the military against our own citizens. This kind of thing concerns me.
What do you mean use against our own citizens?
Yeah,
I'm talking about
you
sending.
said blue states behave. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about sending the military into blue states to make them behave. Getting Gavin Newsom under control, getting JP Pritzker under control.
What are you
making
talking
sure?
about? What do you mean? Like sitting into the state capitol to commandeer the state government?
I mean, I hope not, but I'm definitely, he's definitely talked about that. I don't know why you're acting like you've never heard
the
this
military
before.
to suppress in the Black Lives Matter era those protests in the street.
Ma'am, the Black Lives Matter era was a scam. Don't y'all get it? Look at, okay, let's prove a fact right now. Look at how much money the Black Lives Matter has made. Was the money dispersed for anything? Did anything actually change? It got scam written all over it. Did anything actually change? Absolutely not. I've been telling people that Black Lives Matter was a psyop for years. They don't want to believe it. Have anything changed in your life? They made millions and millions and millions of dollars. Have you received anything? Most likely not. Game over.
Actually, I just make sure I understand your position. That you believe Donald Trump is going to use the military to set up effectively like coups in state capitals of states that he didn't win.
I think you're taking it a step or two.
No, she said make blue states behave, and she also said round up immigrants. That's not true. It's deport illegal immigrants.
Scott,
I think you're just being a little
I don't know why you're acting. No.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry. Hold on. I mean, look. I think you're right. Let's be precise. Trump has wanted to use.
These people have to grow up. Look at how these adults.
You're acting. No.
Look at her. Look at her.
Well, I'm sorry. Hold on. I mean, look. I think you're right.
These people are sick. They have to be sick. You're an adult acting like a 13-year-old, rolling your eyes, batting your eyes, mad because you can't get your way. The entitlement of American women is so crazy to me. You guys are sick.
Right. Let's be precise. Trump has wanted to use the military to do things domestically that actually the military is not allowed to do. I think that's the point that she's making.
Like what?
Like deport illegal immigrants. That is actually not a function of the military.
The military can absolutely be used to work with local officials,
right,
to provide military resources, but working with other parts of the federal government and local officials. We already send the National Guard to the border.
Not against the will of the local officials or the will of the state government. We have a federalist government here.
The military is not supposed to take up arms against American citizens.
They're not. You keep saying that. This is about illegal immigration. You all keep saying American citizens.
Well,
it's
how
about
do we
illegal
know
immigration.
You got to do your standpoint. They keep on conflicting. It's about illegal immigrants. If you're an illegal immigrant in the United States, you have the right to go back to where you came from. We didn't say nothing about legal immigrants. We said illegal immigrants. They keep on going back and forth, capitulating back and forth between illegal and illegal. That's the trick bag. If I was him, Scott, they're playing with you. You don't need to even entertain these people. They don't get it.
I mean, she campaigned a lot for Kamala Harris. She was a key.
The president is clearly trying to do his.
So you have plenty of time, and you claim you have plenty of time.
So it looks like CNN is actually learning how to be somewhat successful.
Okay, on that note, peace, blessings, and love.
Mainstream media outlet compared to others like MSNBC. New York Post writes, CNN to hand pro-Trump pundits.
I appreciate everyone for tuning on in today. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. That's all I ask. Hit the bell notification as well. Hit the AirTag Air Map Protector. I appreciate everyone for tuning on in. You guys remember that it's positivity over negativity always.